Hello ladies and gentlemen, and welcome yourselves back to another ECC stream. And tonight we're going to be having one match on the agenda. Division 1, we have the Salt Shakers and 1-2-3 facing off here. They're currently 3rd and 4th place teams, and as we are approaching the end of league play, this match could be really important when it comes to the final standings. But of course, before we get into it any further, we got to introduce ourselves here at the casting desk. Of course, got myself Faded, and joining me again is Dennis. How are you today, man?
I'm doing really good, Faded. I'm really excited for this matchup between the Salt Shakers and 1-2-3. As you already said, they're both in the playoff spot in Division 1. 1-2-3 in 3rd place and the Salt Shakers in 4th place. So really interesting to see how this matchup is gonna end.
Yeah, it will be so interesting to see because both these teams are so closely matched, and it can really go anyone's way. So we'll begin by going over the rosters for these teams. They do appear to be in the server already. So on the side of the Salt Shakers, we have You Got Jam, the Nitro, and Jackson. Of course, he's under this different name, Master Uguay in game. So yeah, just to avoid any confusion there, you know who it is. And then on 1-2-3, we have Cordai, Don'ts, and Crispy. And as for where both these teams stand, of course, they're 1-2-3. They're a bit higher in 3rd, 4-2 series record. They actually had to forfeit 1 game. And the Salt Shakers, they're currently 3-3 in their series, and they're sitting in 4th. So yeah, going to be a very interesting matchup, an exciting one, I hope, Dennis. Both these teams, as I said, so closely matched to the standings in the playoff spots right now, but this match could be really important when it comes to the end of the season, because both these teams, depending on how some of the later matchups go, they could be dropping out of the playoffs potentially. So it's going to be really interesting to see what happens.
Yeah, really interesting to see what's gonna happen. And something to say about the Salt Shakers, all the 3 losses they had were all in Game 5. So they don't really have the mindset in Game 5, it looks like. They're all losing their Game 5s. And, the 1-2-3, they only lost once against Help Me Please, I think in Week 3. And they unfortunately have 1 forfeit lose. So, Salt Shakers, they hope to just clean it out before Game 5, because they don't really have a good history in Game 5 in the season, Faded.
Yeah, it seems like they can, even when they get there, it just seems like they lose every time, so they want to avoid it at all costs. Just seems like they maybe crack onto that pressure when it comes down to that final game. So we'll see if this series goes to Game 5, which I can see it going that far, to be honest, considering the caliber of teams we have on the pitch. They'll have to sort themselves out there and maybe, have that mentality, make sure it is strong going into that final match, because if you don't have it, then they could easily be bowing out here in this game. But we're looking to get into this game very soon, but of course we need to do our predictions first, Dennis, and I'll hand it over to you first. Who have you got to win this one?
I mean, as you already said, it's going to be a really close series. We expect it to be. So I also expect it to be a Game 5, and in the end I think 1-2-3 is going to take this Game 5. We've seen the Salt Shakers before on stream. They played pretty well, especially Nitro, and they're playing pretty well, but I think still 1-2-3, they only lost 1 series in this season so far against Help Me Please, which is a good side. And yet I think 1-2-3 will take this Game 5 in this series over the Salt Shakers.
Alright, well, I'm going to make it interesting and go at the opposite end. I think I'll predict the Salt Shakers to win this one, despite being maybe considered the lesser opposition in this matchup. They've been on an upswing in this season, actually. They've managed to take it to Game 5 against some of the top teams currently, including recently Zypher Orange, where they took them to a 5th of the city game where they unfortunately lost. And of course last week they got a big 3 over ILB Esports, and they're no easy feat. So it's looking pretty decent for the Salt Shakers, and they can continue that momentum into this match. I can see them edging it out here, but if 1-2-3 also end up winning, I wouldn't be surprised, because both these teams, there's not much to separate them. So I think that's how it will go. But anyways, both the teams are ready. I'm sure they're eager to go, so I think we'll just go over to the map animation now, guys. It is 1-2-3 and the Salt Shakers taking each other on in Division 1. Let's see what happens. Well, here we go, guys, into Game 1 of the series. course, it's looking to be a really close matchup here between the Salt Shakers and 123, but we're going to see who will come out on top in this one, as it is early pressure here for 123, but it looks to be Nitro, probably the star man on the side of the Salt Shakers to get it out. It looks to be Jack putting it into the back of the net. Really quick start here for the Salt Shakers, Dennis.
Yeah, really quick start for the Salt Shakers. Good start, and Nitro tries to dispense it, but instead it's just Crisp taking it into the center. And the first goal for the Salt Shakers is a fact.
Yep, it only took them 15 seconds and they've already got the advantage. Looking really good, but jammed. Oh dear, that is quite the error he's made on the kickoff there. Just completely messed it up, and 123 are back in it already.
Yeah, instantly the equalizer. I don't know what Jet is doing here, and all his teammates look confused because no one is really in goal there. And you know, a quick equalizer for 123.
Yeah, it didn't take them that long. 2 seconds it took them. You know, that's probably one of the quickest comebacks, or quickest goals really we've seen in the whole ECC season. I don't know if we had much faster than that. Anyways, let's continue on as Dons is taking this one as the opposing half. With Jack taking control of the ball, trying to get it around the corner. Cordai puts it into the centre. Now here comes Jams, slamming it one centre. That's a brilliant touch, and we'll be now into the box again. Dons puts it centre, but brilliant read for you got Jams. Absolutely puts that one right through, and already it's the Salt Shakers back in the lead.
Yeah, now it's Jam who scores after he made the mistakes in their goal against them, but it's a good read from Jam there, and he puts the Salt Shakers again in the lead.
Yeah, it didn't take them long to get back in, so 3 goals in the first 40 seconds of the game. Let's hope this will calm down a little bit, because we'll be here all day if they keep on scoring goals at this rate. It looks to be yet another one, the equaliser coming out so quickly. Crisp with a brilliant centre into Dons, 2-2 now.
4 goals after only 47 seconds. Good read from Crisp, and Dons just putting the ball in the open net. And it's the equaliser again here for 123.
Yeah, another equaliser. Boy, this is just a absolute back and forth match here. As now off the kickoff, it looks to be Crisp getting out for this one, puts it into the box. But to get a second touch, we can't get in. And Nitro panics a little bit. He tries to drop that preemptively, but Dons yet again coming in for another goal.
Yeah, the 5th goal in only 1 minute. I don't think I've seen ever so much goals in an ECC stream, but 1 minute in, and it's now 123 who's taking the lead.
Yeah, they're in the lead again now. First lead they've had in the game. 1 minute in, 5 goals scored. This is just absolutely ridiculous for both of these teams. And it looks to be maybe another one is Cordai. He hasn't opened it, puts it in a corner, but it's off the post. It's now a counter-attacking opportunity for the Salt Shakers. But Nitro is taken out, so it gives Crisp a little bit of space. It's got Cordai in the centre to work with, which he'll take, but that shot is not going to be enough. Jack will put it out to the side, and Nitro bring it back into the centre. It is Crisp now on this, onto the backboard. The jammed, very good clear out. Now Nitro trying to take control of it. Cordai takes it off of him, looking for a centre. It is really speedy pass, but no one can read that one, unfortunately. It's now Crisp taps it beautifully into the centre for Dons, and Nitro and you got Jam were both on that. Now Jack getting this one out, looking to push it away. Dons into the corner. Now Nitro and Jam both on this, and Jam will try to take it out. Now Crisp is taken out of the game, but Cordai still keeping the pressure on. Now Jack trying to get onto this one. Dons is threatening there, but now Crisp with another demo on Nitro. It could be a chance for Crisp again. Now Dons looking to take this one. He's looking for a centre potentially, but not the best touch to the ball. Cordai keeping the pressure on. Crisp with a potential shot, and now finally could be a chance for the Salt Shakers to get out here, Dennis.
Yeah, it looks like it's just, you know, the Salt Shakers, they're a bit under pressure of the 1-2-3. Of course, 1-2-3, they are 3-2 up still, and I think they just have the pressure. It's a bit of a back and forth game, but it's still 1-2-3 who's a bit more taking the pressure on the Salt Shakers. I think they're, until now, a bit the better side of this game.
Yeah, I would agree with you on that. They've looked a little bit advantageous in this one, and with them having sustained pressure on the Salt Shakers, the Salt Shakers, they've got half the good to work with yet, but they're going to have to really push here because they've been stuck in the half for it seems like the past minute or so. And so they've really got to find a way to break out because, you know, the offensive rotation from 1-2-3 has been very impressive so far. So Cordai trying to get this one. Don's up 4 at Nitro, waiting back as Jams was taken out of the game. Jack out to the side. Dons just taps it into the centre. Chris up for this one. Jams a poor save, but Nitro will dive across and will save it. But Cordai still pressing, looking for a shot. Nitro, a nice block there. And get to pass Chris, but now it could be a chance here. Jack's up for this. A good beat on Dons, looking for a second touch. Potential solo play, but he can't land it. Jams lurking here. Going in for this one. Nitro, a shooting chance. Chris bops it high. Is now Dawn's trying to get it out. So Jack trying for a center. He puts it onto the back wall. Nitro shooting chance by Chris. Great recovery. He'll send his one out. Jams now going on to the offensive end. Nitro trying to get it. Jack will send it away. As now Dawn's waiting very patiently for this. Jack into the corner. Now Crisp getting it out once more. Dawn's a very nice touch out. Jams puts it high. This could be really dangerous here for the side of the Salt Shakers. It's dropping down. No one really getting onto this. Now Crisp with the shot, but Jams will get the save. But it's now an open net still. Dawn's backflipping, no Cordai with the pressure on. Now Dawn's with his shot, and despite Jack's effort to get the goal line save, it will now be 4-2 in favour of 1-2-3.
Now, really unfortunate for the Salt Shakers. Well, the defender, I think it was Jackson who almost got a save on the line, but it's 1-2-3 who's getting the 4th goal here in this game. Yeah,
the 4-2 lead now, and Jammed again. What is happening with this kickoff? That's twice that's happened, but this time it will not be capitalised upon as Jack was ready and waiting. Now Chris off the back wall was looking for that angle, and now Cordai dunks both of the defenders, and it looks like 1-2-3 are putting a nail in the coffin here.
Yeah, it's Cordai who just forces the ball in after both players from the Salt Shakers is going for that, but in the end Cordai just wins at 50, and in the end it just goes in, and it's the 5th goal for 1-2-3, and they're 3 goals up.
Yeah, 3 goals up. This has just been absolutely dominant in the past few minutes here for the side of 1-2-3. They're looking to press even further, want to extend their lead. As now the Salt Shakers have been pushed out. 40 seconds, 3 goals in that time. Not impossible, but judging by the run of play this game, highly improbable. It's now 30 seconds on the clock. Here comes Jack. The light touch out to the side, maybe following it off the side, but jammed it up instead, but he completely misreads it, and Dons gets it out into the opposing corner. Now Cordai gets it to the centre. A double commit on the Salt Shakers will get a big clear though. That's Chris with a light touch. Jack looking for a centre here, but not enough power on it. So Nitro trying to make something of this. Jammed, looking to double tap it, but Dons will have him beat any day of the week. And as the clock runs down, it will be 1-2-3 with the very convincing first game win here, Dennis. And really for the Salt Shakers, they've got a lot to fix coming into this next game if they want a chance.
Yeah, they really have to pick this all together if they want to have a chance getting the next few games, because, you know, it was pretty much all 1-2-3 in this game. In the beginning, it was the Salt Shakers who twice actually got the lead, but in the end it was just 1-2-3 pressuring the Salt Shakers, keeping the pressure on them, and in the end, it's a deserved winner for 1-2-3 Faded.
Yeah, very deserved win indeed. I can't agree more with that. As we take a look at the stats to end of the game, the Salt Shakers only putting 3 shots on the opposing net, and to their credit, they managed to convert 2 out of 3 of those shots, but 1-2-3 just had far more pressure, 14 shots in comparison. If you're the Salt Shakers, you cannot be letting 1-2-3 having that much space and that much pressure, because it'll lead to a situation like this where you get dominated. So the Salt Shakers need to get way more offensive pressure going into this next game, because 3 shots in the game is just not going to cut it. And so we'll advance into game 2. Let's see if the Salt Shakers can bring their A game here and, really try to tie the series up here. Here we go, game 2, 1-2-3, getting a convincing first game win here. And if you guys want to know why Jams was messing up so many of his kickoffs, it turns out his jump button is not working as expected, so caused him to mess up the kickoff twice in that game, which is not what you regularly see, but of course not much we could do about it here. He just has to cope with it. Now we're advancing into the second game. Nitro in the skyline looking for a ceiling shot here. Oh my god, what an angle by Nitro. And really, Dennis, that's just the way you want to open up this game, isn't it?
Yeah, well, I'll go away from Nitro, just straight from the ceiling. The defenders of 1-2-3 couldn't get a save there. A great shot, great goal away from Nitro, which puts themselves in the lead there early on.
Yeah, it didn't take them that long, and they managed to get a lead first in the last game, but Last time he let it slip. Let's see if it will happen again, as it is now pressure again for 1 to 3, but excellent clear by Jack. This is what we like to see out of them. It's now Cordai onto this one. Nitro will intercept it. And here comes Crisp. Misses that ball along with Jammed, and it's now on to Donce. Now Jack with a great pass into the middle, but no one is there, unfortunately. Now Jam picking up the mid boost. He will leave it for Nitro. Gets a light touch and a great recovery as well to get it out. But Crisp keeping the pressure on the back wall. Jack, I don't think he could get this. Donce has a shot. Jammed in reverse will manage to get it. So Cordai getting it off the corner wall. Here comes Nitro, popping it high. Now Donce touched it into the corner. Jammed. We'll take this one out. Cordai getting a touch into the corner again. Nitro will get it out. It's now Crisp drops it, and Jack will get it out. And so, first minute is come and gone. Dennis, there's another chance onto the post here. Jam just trying to get this one into the centre, but it will go wide. Yeah, first minute and a half gone by. Only 1-0 so far to the Salt Shakers, and I must say they're looking a lot stronger already.
Yeah, they're looking a lot stronger already, like you said. And, you know, there are not a lot of goals like the last game in the first minute. There's only 1 goal in this 1.5 minute, but they're playing pretty well, actually, the Salt Shakers. They got themselves a very good goal from Nitro, but they're playing pretty well. Defense is pretty solid, and yeah, they're just playing better than the first game, I would say, Faded.
Yeah, they're playing a lot better, I must say. They've clearly, you know, had the tactics discussion between the first and second game break, and, you know, it shows here because they're playing a lot better now, and they must have known what they were doing wrong that last game, and they're getting a lot more offensive pressure as a result, which I mentioned in the last game is something they need to step up here. So now, as we're approaching the halfway mark, it is another dangerous shot from Cordai, but it's saved away by Nitro. But now 1 to 3 still pressing on. Cordai has a chance with Jammed. A nice save. So Jam trying to get it out, but it's into the box again. Jack needs to get up to this. Crisp barely misses that one. He slams it off the bar. It's now Cordai keeping the pressure going. It is Jack again up for this. Into the ceiling. Jammed will complete this clearance. So Crisp, an awkward bounce for him, but he will take control. Jammed though dives onto it, and it is a free shot for Jack, but it's onto the post and out. And so now Donce will try to get it away. Cordai is onto this, beats out one, but it will not be enough. Nitro will be taking his time here, gets it out, but Crisp will now look for a centre. Nice dunk here by Nitro though. So Cordai try to get into the centre. It's a double commit there. A nice pinch by the Salt Shakers actually, but Donce is in a perfect position for it. And so 2 minutes left to go, Dennis. And 1, 2, 3, despite having pressure, they're not finding any convincing chances so far. I feel like they need to add a bit more creativity to their play if they want to get past this solid Salt Shakers defense.
Yeah, I agree with that. Oh, what are we seeing?
Oh,
that's
no.
an own goal. That's not a good control there by the 1, 2, 3 defender. And it's actually the second goal for the Salt Shakers. Really unfortunate for him of the back pass. And you know, Cordai, he can't control the ball here, can't also get it out. And that's the second goal for the Salt Shakers. And it's really unlucky for 1, 2, 3 Faded.
Yeah, very, very unlucky for them. You know, Cordai just couldn't get the control of the ball there. Not the touch he wanted, and it just goes right into the net. So rather unfortunate for him, but Crisp right up the counter will be making up for it. What a boomer. 2-1 now.
Yeah, it's a really good dunk it looked like, just straight in the air. Well, actually, it was a miss from Jackson, and in the end, Crisp taking benefit out of that. Gets the power, 103 kph, slamming that into the net. And it's first goal from 1 to 3, and it's still 1 down, 1.5 minute left. Yeah,
they do finally break the drought here after struggling to find a goal so far, but a minute and a half, they still need to find one more to tie it up. It's now Cordai. Let's get out. Brilliant control over this. Nitro is forced to make a bit of an awkward block. It's now Crisp onto the backboard again. Nitro with an excellent save though. Now Don's throwing onto this, into the corner. Crisp decides to leave it. Now Don's with an excellent 50. Cordai looking to play it himself, but Nitro again very solid on the defensive end. There's now Nitro is once more up for that. Don's bit of an awkward touch. It could be an attacking chance here for the Salt Shakers as we are a minute left now in the second game. Now Jack with an absolute slonker into the back of the net, and they'll put themselves 2 goals up again.
Yeah, Jackson, what a slammer. Cordai just, he passes it to Jackson, can't get a block there, and Jackson just puts out both defenders there. Great shot from him. And it's 3-1 now for the Salt Shakers in game 2.
Yeah, 54 seconds. We'll see if the side of 1, 2, 3 can come back here, but it's looking unlikely. The Salt Shakers have looked very solid in this game. So Nitro getting this one out again. Great clear. Cordai, the last man, just taking his time, but Jammed with an excellent dunk again, and it gives Jack another shooting chance, but it is well wide. Counter-attacking chance here. Nitro gets the block. Now Jack beat on Daunts, looking to get into the centre. Now this one's out. Jammed taking the ball now, looking for a pinch. Not a lot of power on it though, and Crisp will be taking it. So Nitro, light touch. Daunts chips it over him. Now control for you. Got Jammed there. Jack turning it around, getting this onto the backboard. Jam looking for a pass into the centre. He lands the touch, but it's not going to be enough. But I don't think it matters here, Dennis. There's 5 seconds left. I don't see 1-2 getting back into this one. And I must say, the Salt Chickens have done an excellent job at responding, as they've looked so much stronger in this game.
Yeah, they did an excellent job, like you said. Really solid performance by them in Game 2. And it benefits them with getting Game 2 now. All tied up in this series now. Both won one game now, and you know, I expect a lot from Game 3 here now. Faded.
Yeah, I'd expect a lot from Game 3, as you said. You know, with this, you know, both teams probably showing their best selves now. The Salt Shakers getting more pressure on in this game, and you know, now I think both of the teams have found their form. I hope that the next few games are going to be insanely close, and not just like, you know, a massive dominant showing from one team like in the first game. So I'm really excited to see how Game 2 goes, because both these teams had fairly equal pressure actually. With 1-2-3 they found 7 shots compared to the 6 of the Salt Shakers. So despite the 1-2-3 having more pressure, they couldn't find as many goals this time. So let's see how both teams will fare going into the third game. Alright, here we go into the third game. It is all tied up in this series between the Salt Shakers and 1-2-3. Salt Shakers just won that last game. Let's see if they can keep that momentum going, because they looked very strong in that last game. And gotta say, it's going to be a really tough battle between these two teams here from here on out, Dennis. You know, with both teams showing their best selves, I feel like, you know, Game 3 could be a really close one. So I want to hear your opinion. You know, who do you think could be coming out on top in this game?
I mean, it's gonna be a really close one, and I think, you know, Salt Shakers, they seem like they have a great start every game, and just now they have possession here, look like they're getting a shot. But I think in the end, it's the Salt Shakers who's taking this game. To be fair, I think they've been playing pretty good, and you know, if they can keep that consistency over this game, you know, I think they're really the favorites here in this game. I would say, Faded.
Yeah, I think they would be the favourites considering their last game performance, and you know, in the first game they looked pretty good up until, you know, a couple minutes in, and it looks to be 1-2-3 to get things started early. Kordai gets it off that bar down shot, and it will be 1-0 now, a minute in.
Yeah, we see a shot there from Crisp off the crossbar. Both players from the Salt Shakers can't get the clear. In the end, Kordai getting the first goal here of this game for the 1-2-3 side.
Yeah, it took exactly a minute for them to do so, but Salt Shakers looking pretty decent in this game so far, but Don's actually taking Jammed out of the sky. It looks to be Chris there with this job at Nitro. Excellent read on that one. And he'll keep his team safe for now. That's a double commit from the side of the Salt Shakers with Jack. That's a brilliant job to get this one out. And Don's has a potential reset here, but there's no way he's making use of that. So Crisp with a nice infield pass, but Don's ready for a jam with a bit of a strange whiff there, and it could leave the net wide open, but Jack just gets back in time, throws it across his own net. So Jam's looking to start this attack here, but Don's shot it down quickly. Nitro prevents a direct shot. Crisp tries to get it back to the other end. Kordai is there. And here comes Jams. Gets beat out by Kordai. Not a lot of boost to work with, but he will potentially take the corner. He doesn't actually, but still, he wanted that centre. So Crisp up for it. He misreads it. It's now out to the side. It's now Jack with an excellent boomer downfield. Kordai, I don't know if he can get to this one. He will leave it for Dons though. It's now Jams. It's the corner. Here comes Kordai, getting it out. Nitro with a weak touch here, looking to put it centre potentially. Sends it high. Here comes Jack, but Dons again with a clear. And so we're 2 minutes into this one, Dennis. Still it is 1-0 to 1-3. You know, what do you think the Salt Shakers need to do a little bit better in this game? Because so far they've not had that many attacking chances, I don't think. So they've really got to step it up, I think.
Yeah, I haven't seen really pressure from them on the 1-2-3 side, and I think they just need to pressure the 1-2-3 side a bit more, getting those passing plays and confuse their defense, and in the end make the equalizer as they still 1-0 down, and we don't really see dangerous offenses from the Salt Shakers here, Faded.
Yeah, not that dangerous at all, and so we've got to see if they can step it up here. As now jammed onto the backboard, this could be the chance here. Chris misses that one. It's a chance for Jack actually, but Chris, great recovery. To cut in there and stop the potential shot. As now Daunt redirects it into his own corner. Could have been really dangerous, but he gives it over to Cordai. Not a lot of boost to work with though. So Jack gets it into the side. Crisp, good job on that one. As now Nitro going to get to it, but Crisp, great speed again. As now Daunt into the corner. Back to the box, Jack taps it to the side. Here comes Nitro. But Crisp again with the block is now jammed into the corner. Daunt gets it out once more. Now, Daunt's looking for a center here. Jack again with a clear. Crisp is up for this. They're looking for a dunk potentially. Cordai chips it high, looking to bomb Jam potentially. And now, Chris trying to get this one to the center. Jam will be on this, but I've got to say, Dennis, in this game in particular, I must commend 1-2-3. They've had excellent midfield control here, and they're just keeping the Salt Shakers pinned in their own half. I've got to credit Crisp especially. He's been so good at cutting into the rotation and making these really important blocks here, and it's allowed the sustained pressure. But as I said, Niger had a chance there, but off the post. But you got to say here, the midfield control, especially off of Crisp, is doing dividends here for 1-2-3.
Yeah, he is a great midfield of 1-2-3 side. Great midfield control by 1-2-3 side, and that's really what you gotta praise them for. Because it's not really that the Salt Shakers do have their chances, and it's 2-0 here for 1-2-3. And it really looks like the Salt Shakers, they can't get out of defense, and if they're coming out of defense, it's again 1-2-3 just countering that instantly, and in the end it's 2-0 here. It's all 1-2-3 here in this game. Salt Shakers, they don't really seem to get into this game, and yeah, it's been all 1-2-3 here this game.
Yeah, it has been all 1-2-3. I can't agree more with you. This whole game, it's just been like any time the Salt Shakers got out of their half, it's just like it's either a shutdown instantly at the midfield, or even if they do get into the opposing half, it's just like, they manage to take a shot and then it's cleared right back into their own end. So the Salt Shakers not looking really good in this game. It's 20 seconds left. I think we can consider 1-2-3 taking this game, as they are still managing to press on here. Nitro trying to get this one. Maybe looking for a consolation, get a bit of confidence back to themselves, but still Cordai's having none of it. And now it could be Chris trying to get another one. Jams has a chance, but he's just demoed, absolutely savage from Cordai. And it could be the third goal here. Dons sends that over the entire defense, and very convincing showing once more here from 1-2-3.
Yeah, really convincing game here for 1-2-3. Both players from the Salt Shakers, especially last man, just going up for that, which leads to the third goal of 1-2-3. They tried to give everything in offense, but in the end it's still just a 3-0 here for 1-2-3. Great performance by them. Not the fourth goal here, but we see the winner 1-2-3 here in game 3 Faded.
Yeah, the 3-0 win, that's just an absolutely dominant performance, shutting out the Salt Shakers. And like, it's kind of a similar story to the first game. In the first game, remember the Salt Shakers, they had 3 shots on goal. Well, look what's happened again. 3 shots on goal for the Salt Shakers, and this time they couldn't convert any of them. Whereas 1-2-3, 7 shots on net, over double the amount. That's looking really good for 1-2-3. It just seems like if they can have good offensive rotation, where they're keeping the pressure going on the Salt Shakers, the Salt Shakers could do nothing about it. So what do you think the Salt Shakers need to change then, is if they want to break down the 1-2-3 defense?
I mean, I think they just have to pressure 1-2-3 more. They've been just under the pressure now, and if they try to get out of defense, it's every time 1-2-3 just countering that. And I think they really have to pressure 1-2-3 more. So we're going into game 4 now, and let's see what happens there.
Alright, here we go into the third game. It is looking really good here for the side of 1-2-3. Last game just shutting out the Salt Shakers. Now they're looking to potentially go on to get the 3-1 victory, but the Salt Shakers, they're not out of it just yet, as they're the ones attacking first. But again, it's cleared out immediately. Now you got jammed. They switch over to the Octane now from the Fennec, so we'll see how that works out for him. Now Korai with a nice air dribble, looking for the bump, but it's not going to work out this time. But Chris now, the shot on net jam, just managed to get it off the crossbar. That is just excellent stuff there. As our Korai look to keep the pressure on though, but there's no one there, and Jack will be taking that one. But a bit of a mistouch, I think, as now Don't's the back for Jack getting it out again, and Jam's looking to pre-flip into it. He lands the touch, but will not amount to anything, as now Korai has possession, but Jack actually now getting us into the box. Chris loses it out, but Nitro with a follow-up shot. Don't's great save off the line, and Korai will clear it out here, and as the first minute goes by, looking like a neck-and-neck game here, Dennis.
Yeah, just like in game 1, we see much offense from both sides actually. And you know, a really entertaining game already we're seeing here. And of course, the Salt Shakers, they are in game 4 now, and 1-2-3, they have max point. If they win this, they win the whole series. And you know, the Salt Shakers, they really gotta win, because if you look at the standings, it's still really close at each other. And it looks like it's gonna be a goal line save, a goal line clear, really close. That 1-2-3 got the goal there, but it's a good clearance there by the Salt Shakers. But what I just said, the Salt Shakers, they really need to win this series to maintain their playoff spot. I mean, we're approaching the end of the season, and we really gotta win this series. And 1-2-3, their opponents are now in match point, so it's not really great for the Salt Shakers. But until now, really entertaining game, Faded.
Yeah, very entertaining indeed. We've seen you got jumped and Nitro making some excellent goal line saves, but there's no one back in defense this time, and it will be 1-2-3 taking advantage of this game.
Yeah, 1-2-3 taking advantage of this game after we see Jack missing the ball on the back wall and Dance is taking the open net. Roughly 2 minutes played, and 1-2-3 is getting the first goal of this game.
Yeah, it only took them a couple minutes, but they're into it now. And I've got to commend so far the Salt Shakers, because their defense has been excellent. Remember them making 3 goal line saves this game alone, 2 from you got jammed and 1 coming from Nitro. So they have managed to keep out some of these threatening shots here, but that's the first time they've fallen in this game. They've got to really get it back into this, because as you mentioned, Dennis, it's important for the standings here for the Salt Shakers in particular. And so they've really got to win this game to bring it to even just the deciding game. So Jam's trying to get this one out. Korai, the turn there, no pressure on him, but Jam with an excellent dunk, and there's now Jack trying to get it out. A nice touch over one defender, but Dons will have that one easily. Now Jam touched it into the middle for Nitro. It's a little bit of an awkward play here, and Chris will be the one to clear, but Jam's now looking to get the shot, gets it past the last man, and it is so equalizer coming out from you got Jammed.
Yeah, Jam just saw the open net there. He didn't hesitate and instantly shot the ball over Corday there. No one in net from 1-2-3. And that's the equalizer. Half time now in this game, and Salt Shakers just equalized.
Yeah, half the game left. The Salt Shakers getting the equalizer they needed. Now they'd have to take the advantage, but it's going to be a tough task here. But you got Jam stepping up, getting it going early here. So now they've got a lot of time to work with. It is looking to be a stalemate at the moment though. 1-1. Let's see who can come out on top as Nitro blasts it onto the backboard. Is the follow-up going to be here? No, but it's a huge double commit for 1-2-3. They will get possession over to the Salt Shakers as Jack gets a nice beat. Jam pre-jumping this. Dons won't beat him though. It's awkward for Nitro. Korai looking to get the center, but Nitro a great touch into the corner. I will allow him a second one. Now looking with zero boost to try complete the play. As now Jack with a potential shot. Dons does get the save away, but as now we're approaching the last minute and a half here, Dennis. And it looks like, you know, the Salt Shakers are being more threatening on offense here. You know, every time there's a shot on net, the 1-2-3 defense is a bit panicky. There's a couple double commits coming out for them, and you know it could be about time that, you know, this 1-2-3 match capital or will fall to that. Sorry.
Well, yeah, it's the Salt Shakers who really have the time now to just score, because we see 1-2-3 just struggling a bit in defense, and you know, Salt Shakers can really benefit out of that. 1 minute 20 seconds to be played, and it's the Salt Shakers who is taking more and more of this game now. They struggled at the beginning of this game, but they're getting themselves more in the game, as we're seeing just an open net for now, but 1-2-3 just can't take it, and a good save there by Jack. But we see just the Salt Shakers getting more in this game. 1 minute to be played, and it's still 1-0.
Yeah, it's still 1-0. Don's looking for a drop down into the box, and now Chris with a follow. This could be the equalising goal, and despite Jack nearly having another amazing save, it will be 1-2-3 taking the lead again now.
Yeah, we're seeing so many attempts to get a goal line save, and a few times it worked for the Salt Shakers, but in the end this time, Jack just couldn't get a save. And it's the second goal for 1-2-3, 54 seconds to be played, and the Salt Shakers is about to lose this series, Faded.
Yeah, and I feel like that goal went against the run of play there, because I feel like the Salt Shakers, they were having a lot of pressure on the opposition, and with 1-2-3 panicking so much in defense, I saw even a triple commit out of them once. But now, you know, the seemingly incredibly strong defense of the Salt Shakers breaks down now, and they've got 30 seconds to get themselves back in the game. Nitro looking to do it here, but Don's really fast that ball now, jammed the last man back. What can he do with this? Don's trying to make a center here, and Kodai's on this, but it will just roll past the net. Now Jam really trying to get this one out. 20 seconds. The Salt Shakers really got a push now as Nitro tries to get it, but it will not be enough. Crisp will go for it into the net, and I feel like it's all over for this series.
Yeah, it feels, you feel like it's all over now. Crisp is a good touch there, just from the ground, just controls the ball and smacks it into the net. It's a really good touch there, and it's a third goal for 1-2-3, and they are 2 goals up now with 14 seconds left. And Salsex, it looks like they just have lost this series, Faded.
Yeah, I don't see them coming back into this game now. They must be completely out of it. This Nitro could get something going here, but his attempt is futile. It will be Nitro already leaving the game. He's done with it, but a 3-1 win to 1-2-3. Very impressive performance here, Dennis. And, you know, got to say, you know, between the 3rd and 4th place teams, it was a very exciting series to watch. The Salt Shakers had so much potential in this game, but in the end, 1-2-3, they do best them in this match.
Yeah, 1-2-3, a really deserved win here. Good series played by them. They were really consistent. Like, it shows that they're really capable of just getting the playoff spot. And I think they are now 3rd place, maybe even 2nd place. So that's really well played by them in this series. And, you know, I think that saves a playoff spot for them and the Salt Shakers. They really have to try hard the next 2 series to eventually get that playoff spot, because now this series they have lost it. I mean against 1-2-3, it's not a shame, but you know, it's still the Salt Shakers. They really have to convert these losses in wins in the next few series to eventually save themselves a playoff spot here in Division 1.
Yeah, that is true, Dennis. As I'm looking at the standings now, what should be happening is that I think the Salt Shakers, they will stay in 4th for the time being, but they'll be down to 3-4 records. I believe if they manage to win their next 2 matches, it's still possible for them to get into playoffs, but a 5-4 record in the past, more often than not, doesn't get you in. But depending on how the top of the table goes, we'll see if they can manage to get in. Over teams like ILV or Saviors will look to be the other contenders for it. As for 1-2-3, they're now at a 5-2 record. They have 1 actual loss and 1 forfeit loss, but 1-2-3, I feel like if they can win the next couple series, they've more or less guaranteed a playoff spot here. But the Salt Shakers, as you said, Dennis, they really got to fight for it. And we'll look at their upcoming matches, actually, to see what opposition the Salt Shakers will have to face in the coming weeks. This should be really interesting to look at. So now they'll have to face against Cupcake Crew and Untouchables. Now, I feel like, Dennis, those 2 matches are against much lesser opposition. I feel like the Salt Shakers, if there's like 2 matches they have to win, it's those 2, and I feel like they should definitely win them, because Cupcake Crew and Untouchables not looking so good this season. So I feel like they have a pretty strong chance of still making playoffs, but they got to get some really big wins over those 2 teams.
Yeah, for sure. It's the Cupcake who are in 10th place now, and Untouchables in 9th place. So the bottom 2 sides of Division 1 they still have to face. So they have the chance to get into playoff spots, and you know, it's pretty good for them that they saved these matches to the end of the season. So I mean, they are in 4th place still. They might drop down to 5th, but they got all the chance against Cupcake Crew and Untouchables to eventually get into playoff spots. But they really have to give everything to win the series and eventually maybe get a playoff spot. Or maybe we see Saviors Esports or Irrelevant Esports taking over the playoff spots from the Salt Shakers. It's all tied up, all close here, I have to say. Yeah, at the bottom 5 teams here in Division 1. So really exciting to see how this end of Division 1 is gonna turn out, Faded.
Yeah, I'm really excited to see it, because I feel like, you know, the top 3 currently, Zypher Orange, Help Me Place in 1-3, they'll probably be in playoffs if, you know, the run of the season continues as it should do. But the Salt Shakers in 4th, it could be either them, Saviors, or ILV, or even, you know, the likes of Godalian's Tempest can make it in. You know, any team can make it in at this point, even down to Untouchables, if, you know, if some results go, you know, a certain way maybe. But the Salt Shakers look to be in the most strong position to make it, considering they've got a much better game differential than some of the teams below them. So they've got that going for them at least. So we'll have to see how it ends. But I feel like that is it for today's stream, guys. We've got no more matches on tonight's agenda. I'd like to thank you again, Dennis, for joining me in the casting booth. Is there anything else you'd like to say before we end?
No, I just want to say, really exciting to see how Division 1 is gonna end, because, you know, everything is still to play for, so keep on watching these streams, because it's gonna turn out to be a great end of the season, everyone.
Yeah, it's going to be a really great end to the season, so I'm really excited to see how it will end. Now I'm going to have a quick look at the match schedule to see if there's any other streams this week for you guys, because I know you guys want to watch more matches. Of course, unfortunately, I don't think there's any enough people available to do the streams on Saturday and Sunday, but there's some really huge matches in the Champions Division. I'm going to be playing in one of them, hee. And then there's also Division 1 match, Untouchables and Gillian's Tempest. And Gadalians are the main team are playing in 3 of the 4 matches over this weekend so far. And of course, later today it's going to be Esports Legends and No Hope Sapphire. I coach the No Hope Sapphire team, so I'll be cheering them on. I think one of the players will be streaming that. I believe Kiro will be. So look out for that if you guys want to watch it. But anyways, that'll be it for today's stream, guys. Thanks again for watching, and we will see you guys next time. Good night, everyone.